Everyone, so this is Rohit. So today we are starting a Palo Alto Firewall training. So this is our topology for today. So today we will see how we can configure the initial setup with our Palo Alto Firewall, like how we can enable the internet, how we can enable the internet for the local area network. So here is the our simple topology for today. Let me brief you about the topology first. As you can see here, we have a three zones. We have a WAN zone, DMZ zone, and we have a LAN zone. Okay, here we are deploying our firewall in a layer 3 mode. Okay, WAN zone is an untrust zone where it is connected towards the internet. Email address zone is a zone where we have placed all the servers, and LAN zone is a local area network zone. Okay, so IP addressing part I have already done. So today we will see how we can connect our Palo Alto firewall with the internet and how we can provide internet to our local area network device. Okay, so for doing so we will have to take the console of the firewall. First of all, let's check the configurations. Okay, so what is the command for checking the management IP is the show system interface, show system info. Okay, so here you can see we have a management IP of 172.16.1.129. Okay, so I will simply try to access the firewall with the management IP, that is 172.16.1.129. Okay, let's see whether we got the access or not. Yeah, we are getting the access over of our firewall. So let me show you the configurations first very quickly. First of all, I'll come to the network tab and I'll show you the interface configuration. As you can see, we are using three interfaces, that is Ethernet 1 by 1, Ethernet 1 by 2, and Ethernet 1 by 3. Ethernet 1 by 1 we are using for the WAN. It is having a security zone for WAN. Okay, and it is having an IP address of 192.168.163.100. That is a public IP for our lab environment. Okay, although it is not a public IP, but it is a public IP for our LAN environment only. Okay, we are getting the internet for from this range. Okay, so here we are using Ethernet 1 by 2 in a DMZ zone. Okay, here I have created, sorry, 1 by 2 is our LAN zone, and it is further divided in two ports. Like we have configured two sub interfaces, Ethernet 1 by 2.10 and 20. As you can see in the tag value, we have a 10 and 20. So 10 is dot 10 is being used for the VLAN 10, and dot 20 is being used for the VLAN 20, and it 1 by 3 is we are using as a in a DMZ zone. Okay, here you can see the zone. Okay, now here our task is to connect the Palo Alto firewall to the internet. Okay, so for connecting a Palo Alto firewall to the internet, what we will have to do, we will have to configure the IP address. So that we have already configured. As you can see here, 192.168.163.100, it is already configured. So what else we will have to do here, we will have to give the default route in our Palo Alto firewall towards the internet. Okay, so how we can do this, we will see, and how we can enable the internet in our LAN device, that we are going to do today. Okay, let's go to the firewall first, and let's configure the static route first. So for configuring the static route, we need to go to the virtual router, and here in default static route, and then here we can give the default route. So I am giving here name as a default route. Okay, default underscore route, it is not taking as, so default R. Okay, now the destination is 0.0.0.0/0, means any subnet. Okay, now the exit interface will be 1 by 1. Okay, 1 by 1 is my WAN side interface. What will be the next hop? So in this lab, our next hop gateway will be 192.168.163.2. Okay, so we will click OK. This is how we can configure the default route in case of our Palo Alto firewall. Okay, we will commit the configuration and we will check whether we are getting the internet connectivity in our Palo Alto firewall or not. Okay, let's check the connectivity first. Okay, so guys, commit is successful. Now let me check whether I'm able to reach to the internet from the check Palo Alto firewall or not. Okay, so how we can check? We can check by ping, and source will be our 192.168.163.100 and host will be 1.1.1 like any public IP. Okay, let me ping. Okay, now we are able to reach to the internet. And how you can check the routing table? Show routing route. See guys, we have configured the this default route. Okay, 0.0.0/0 or gateways 192.168.163.2. So we are getting the internet in our Palo Alto firewall. Now what is our next task? We need to enable internet for our LAN devices as well. So for enabling the device net internet to our net device internet to our LAN devices, we will have to configure the security policy in our Palo Alto firewall as well as the net policy. Okay, because by default everything is default for interzone communication. Okay, so as the traffic will move from LAN zone to WAN zone, so we will have to create security policy. And because we are having a private IP and we are trying to reach to the internet, so we will have to perform the netting as well. Okay, so let's see how we can configure the security policy and how we can create the net rule. Okay, and how we can enable the internet in our VLAN 10 subnet. Okay, so I will quickly go over here and I will go to the network and then policies. Sorry, not in network, in policies. Okay, so I will create a net rule first. Source net. Okay, we can give any meaningful name that as per the industry. Okay, original packet will come from LAN zone. Okay, and destination zone will be our WAN zone. Okay, destination interface will be any, service will be any. Okay, destination IP will be any. So I want this to be translated with the IP configured on the external interface. Okay, so that is 1.1/1 and IP is 192.168.163.100. Okay, so this is how we can configure the net policy. Okay, now we will also have to configure the security policy to allow the communication from the LAN zone to the WAN zone. So let's create internet rule for VLAN 20. Okay, we can give any meaningful name. Okay, and source zone will be our LAN zone, destination zone will be our WAN zone. Okay, source address, here we can give the source address. So we want to allow for the VLAN 20 subnet, that is 10.2.2.0/24. So I'll create one address object over here. Okay, sorry guys, VLAN 20. Okay, now here 10.2.2.0/24. Okay, I have created simple rule, and for now I am using for now I have created I'm not giving any destination, and I'm also allowing all application, all services, and I am logging, enabling the logs. Okay, now let's commit the configuration and let's check. Here we can see what are the changes we have done. Like here we have a three uh, symbols. Like in green we can see what we have added in our previous configuration, and in orange we can see what we have modified, and red is for deleted. If we have deleted anything from our last configuration, then it will show in red. Okay, So let's commit the configuration and let's check the connectivity first. Okay guys, so commit is almost successful. Yeah, it's successful now. You can ignore these warnings as this is for the GP zone that I have used for my uh, testing. Okay, you can ignore this for some time. Let's check whether we are getting the internet in our devices or not. Okay, so let me show you the configuration. So IP interface brief. So you can see we have IP address of 10.2.2.100. Okay, if I'll show you the gateway, show IP route, then you can see I have a gateway of the Palo Alto sub interface, that is 10.2.2.10. Okay, now let's see whether we are able to reach to the internet with this device or not. Yes, see guys, we are able to reach to the internet. I'm pinging 1.1.1, that is a public IP, and I'm able to reach. I'm also able to reach to the 8.8.8. So it is working fine. So we can also verify the logs. We need to come to the monitor section and then session browser. So it is not coming as it is not a licensed version and it takes some time. Let me try to ping it again. Okay. So guys, here you can see the logs where our traffic is going from the LAN to WAN zone, and LAN source IP is 10.2.2.100 and destination is 8.8.8, and it is hitting the security rule that we have recently created, that is internet rule for VLAN 20, and it is getting translated through the so net rule that we have configured now. Okay, so it is working absolutely fine. Thank you guys.